only effective weapons against the Covenant. He is lethal, upgradable, and most importantly, controllable.
Nice to meet you, Pablo, again. I'm Cristina from SensaCine Mexico. I'm very excited about this new series because I grew up playing the video game, you know. And well, my first question is, I think there's a non-written rule with Master Chief that is that he never or hardly shows his face.
It has been announced on the IGN panel that we would remove the mask and we would see that.
Okay,
yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
So how is this a part of a decision from the screenwriters to maybe humanize more Master Chief, or?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, in part. I think one of the first decisions that you make when you're adapting a video game is what's the best way to bring that particular adaptation to the medium, right?
Okay.
The medium of the video game is a first-person shooter, and so you're meant to be in the shoes of the Master Chief, inside the helmet. You're meant to feel like you're him, right? So the character was created that way. He was created vague. He was created as a symbol, right? That everybody could project their own, their self onto and feel like they're him, right? When you're making a TV show, what's the best way to create that dynamic for the television medium, right? And for television viewers, I think you want to engage with your main character. You want to connect and empathize with your main character. And it's hard to connect and empathize with a character that has a mask on, right? So one of the first decisions that were made is that you have to have access to the face. You have to see the person behind the mask. Making that decision, you know, whereas with The Mandalorian, right, that show, the character is behind the mask. There's certain rules that make it that way. The character can't take off his mask or he's no longer a Mando, right? You don't have that with Halo. With Halo, the Spartans are without a helmet all the time, right? All the Spartans, you see them without their helmet, without their gear. The only one you've never seen without his helmet or gear is Master Chief. And that's because you're meant to feel like you're him. We're making a TV show now. We're not asking you to feel like you're him. We're asking you now to come and have an experience where you now get to know the character and experience it in a different way.
Covenant forces appear to be excavating some kind of object. When I touched the object, I felt something. I felt different.
I think that when this series go lives, people are going to empathize him more, and tell me if you think so or not, than maybe a Marvel or a DC superhero, because we are not going to be them, never, no? But he's a hero, he's human. What do you think about that?
Sure, well, one of the main dynamics of our season, or one of the main themes of our season, is exploring John's humanity and him discovering his humanity, right? A big portion of the first season is him discovering the history of the Spartan program and what happened to him as a child. And so as he's unraveling the mysteries of his own history, his own personal history, he's also learning what it feels like to be human. So absolutely, you know, we're putting a human face, a human spin on a character who hasn't always been humanized. So hopefully the audience will connect with that.
And you just decided to help me. Why would a Spartan do that?
What does one do with a superhuman you're not sure you can trust?
I am 100% sure that you're going to be like this character that every kid and every teen, and I'm not a teenager, but everyone,
fooled me.
I feel like one, but I'm not. No, that everybody's going to be a Halloween costume, you know. Everybody wants the armor, everyone will want to buy the toys, you know. And I know that in the next month, I'm going to see videos of you like sharing your experience where the first time you put the armor on. But let me tell you, what did your kids say or think the first time they saw you with the armor?
Yeah, both my kids were over in Budapest while we were shooting the show. And this is the first TV show that I've worked on, first project I've worked on that's really okay for them to watch, you know? So they were there while we were shooting, and it was incredible. They're so excited, you know? My 13-year-old is a little bit like, he could care less, you know, he's too cool for school as far as the Master Chief is concerned, but the 10-year-old is over the moon and thrilled. And it's the first job that he's like really been excited about the fact that I'm an actor. So it's fun to watch them be excited about something like that, you know?
And the first time you saw yourself in the mirror with the armor. What did you think?
Oh, well, it was a daunting process because I went to London to FBX Studios, who built the suits, about 5 times before we ever started shooting, just to try on different iterations of the suit. So unfortunately, the first time I put it on, it wasn't painted, it wasn't, it didn't feel like Master Chief, it was just a whole bunch of plastic strapped on. But I think the time that felt the most, that was kind of like the aha moment, like, oh, this is really something, was when we showed the whole crew, and me and the 3 other Spartans that are part of the Silver team came out in our outfit and our gear and showed the whole crew, and that was a moment where I think everybody was kind of like,
cool.
Okay, here we go.
Cortana, I'm gonna need you now.
For example, we see a lot of actors say that the superhero suit is not comfortable out of the screen. I mean, is it comfortable when you go to the bathroom, Is it easy to remove? How many hours or minutes it takes to put on yourself?
It's very much not comfortable, but I want to know who was complaining about their superhero suit, because if it's like Superman or Batman or any one of these Marvel guys, they got nothing on us. These suits are way more uncomfortable, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah, I will challenge any one of those guys to a more uncomfortable suit off.
That's good to know.
We'll see who's more uncomfortable.
Master Chief recovered something.
Sacred ring. Halo.
And finally, is this the beginning of a Halo-verse?
It's the beginning of a Halo show that I hope is really deep and rich and fulfilling for fans and non-fans alike. Comes out on March 24th on Paramount Plus. I can't wait. The excitement is palpable for us who made the show and put so much hard work into it, and for the fans, I think, who are incredibly excited to see something they've been waiting for so long. Where that leads in the future, we'll see. We know we have a season 2, and we can't wait to make that for you too.
We're all we have now. It's just us.